In this video, I'm going to be going over one of the easiest back pedal kits to install to date. Now, if you've been following me, you've seen me install different types of back pedal kits that are some very difficult, like the B-Saver, to the more easier ones like the Extreme Rate. But this specific kit is one of the easiest ones hands down, and I'll show you why. You're going to need a BDM 030 controller. So if you have an older controller, probably like from your PlayStation that you got a couple years ago, it's probably one of the older generations. You need a new generation. The easiest way to get it is buy it on Amazon. So I bought a few of these and they all came as a BDM 030. And I'll show you how to check it once we open it up. The installation process takes around 15 minutes. All the equipment necessary are in the kit. So you're just going to need the kit, which I'm going to leave the link below. It's around $35. And a BDM 030 controller, which you could get right now on sale for 50 bucks during the holidays. So both of the links, my affiliated Amazon links, I'm going to be in the description. So check it out if you need it. So let's get to it. Let's check out what we get inside the kit. So we get the ribbon cables. Now this is very neat. From all the different paddles that I've been installing, I didn't really see like a detailed instruction manual like TOMSIN sent on this BDM 030. Most of them you have to find the links online and you watch videos, but this one has a very comprehensive instruction manual. Everything on identifying the controller, to mapping the buttons, and it even has the instructions on how to install the whole kit. So this is very neat. I really appreciate something like this. And it's, you know, it's color. It's not black and white like some of the other cheaper versions. So this is a plus. And we also get our hardware tools, the screwdriver and prime tool. Very handy, durable. One of the best tools I've used for any installation kits are the TOMSIN ones. And we get our back shell, and the cool thing is we get our back pedal kit that's already assembled, so you don't have to worry about putting it all together. This is a time saver right here. So very basic. You get the back buttons, the shell, and just a few ribbon cables, and that's it. Now we're gonna just open up the PlayStation controller, and I'm gonna show you how to identify if this is a BDM 030. You can quickly identify it by just looking in the back here. If you see these symbols, they're very kind of smaller, then it's a BDM 030. If you check here, these are the different layouts that's going to have on different generations. And you could also check the triggers. If you open them, you'll see a little spring on the BDM 030. The 010 will look something like this, and the 020 will look something like this. Once we identify this is a 030, we could start taking it apart. And first we're going to remove these two triggers right here. And then we're going to take off these two screws here. 1 and 2. Now we need to remove this trim. And if you have some nails, you could just do it like that, or use a prying tool. Slowly take it off. This will expose 1 and 2 more screws. Okay, from here we just see these two pins. Push on them. Now we put this aside. Put this aside. Grab our shell. And here you're gonna get some screws. So we want to put this here like this. So we're going to need 4 little screws from this little baggie. We just want to get this prepared so we don't have to do this later. I like to take care of this right now. So we just need 4 of these bigger ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put aside 2 smaller ones. That's for the motherboard later on we're going to screw on. So now we can just open this up for now. Just like that. Put this aside. See how all this is assembled already? That's pretty awesome. If you check out my other video, you could see how you have to install all this by yourself. Which is okay, it's not that hard, but just makes this process much easier. So now just screw on these 4 little screws here. Okay, now once those are on, we could put this aside. Now we take our controller here. We could remove this battery. We could remove this battery case. So here we have a 020 and this is the 030. And just to show you the different layout. So you see on the 030, these wires, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. On the older generation, there's only 2 wires that are soldered on here. So with this new generation, we don't have to worry about these ribbon cables to take them off and to install new ones. So now we just want to remove all these cables so we can lift this motherboard. We're going to remove these little ones here. And flip this over. And we're going to get this cable here and gently push it into these 2 pins. So we're going to take it like this with this sticker facing up. We just want to insert it. Nice and firm. Once they're in the hole, we're just going to put this back. Okay, once we got these cables all back intact, we take our battery case, put it back in here. Make sure that we go behind these cables here. We just want to make sure we tighten this pretty good so it holds everything intact. There we go. Now we can place back our battery and we're almost done. Let's make sure this cable is in here in this little pocket. Okay, we just do this now. Peel a sticker off, place it right here. Now this here, we don't really have to worry about it, but it does come with this wire and this wire, and we basically have to solder it just like in the other kit if we want to map the touchpad and the L3 and the R3 to the back paddles, which I don't do. I do sometimes, but I don't know, I never use it. I don't really know who uses it, so I usually skip that part, so you'll be alright without it. Okay, so now we're just gonna make a bend right here, this wire. Now we could take our back case that we assembled earlier, so now it's all ready. And now we just need to close this all up, slide that in. To close it, let's get this first. Try to get the triggers first, it's a little easier. And once the triggers are in, now we just close it up like this. So now we just have to assemble this last part and we're all finished. And what we do is we take our little motherboard that came here, open up this little door, make sure that the golden fingers are facing down, because the golden fingers want to see these golden fingers here on the bottom. They want to be touching, so these fingers touch in the bottom of the board. Slide it in. Once it's in, close. Now we just put this back here like this. There's this little hole here, so make sure that goes in. And then take those 2 little screws I was talking about earlier. So now that's nice and tight. And now we just take the back case and we just slide it on here. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, the paddles feel very nice. So to map the buttons, we just have to turn the controller on, and once it's on, we're just gonna push the mode and the paddle we wanna map. So let's do S for standard with P1. We hold that. Once the light starts blinking, we push the button we wanna map it to, and then push the mode again. So once we push, we see the red light on, that means it's mapped. So these ones are not on because they're not mapped. So let's do turbo to P2. So let's do that triangle, push turbo again. So now turbo is P2, and then we would map these same way. So if you guys don't know what the turbo mode is, it's basically when you push the button, it just spams it, just pushes it like this. Now there's two different colors for this. These come in black matte finish and the white. After doing reviews for over a year now and installing different back paddles, these ones I highly recommend. Now I don't want you guys to think that I'm being sponsored by TOMSIN or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. I'm not sponsored by them. I just really think that this product is great because it's easy to install and it's very affordable. I use these paddles for first-person shooter games, and I gotta say, it makes a big difference. Make sure you guys drop a comment, like this video, and let me know what you guys think about it. I'll see you next time.